Suzuha sighed as she took her shower. Probably she made a different kind of sigh than I just did right there. Hold on, let me do one more sigh. That sigh is definitely more Suzuha than the one I said earlier. Since it was summer, she'd set the water temperature low. It was barely any hotter than tap water. As long as the water was pouring down on her, she could feel like all the bad memories were being washed away. She slapped her cheeks with both hands and turned off the water. The small tiled room suddenly became quiet. In the silence, she vigorously toweled off her hair. This building was never intended for anyone to live in. Not only was there very little room, there wasn't even a place to change. It was small, and there were no windows, and the steam from the shower room built up, making it an unpleasant sauna in summer. Supposedly, Itaru and Okabe would sit naked next to the fans to get away from the heat and moisture. Of course, that was only when the girls, as well as Urushiba and Luka, weren't around. But Suzuha couldn't do that. There were those huge scars on her chest. If she was careless and Yuki saw them, she'd have a big problem. So she always forced herself to change within the small space. The second she left the shower room, she realized something was wrong. The lights were off in the part behind the curtain, where the lab room was. She was sure she had left all the lab lights on when she'd gone to take a shower. Kagari. I bet it's Kagari. I bet she's here. She didn't remember turning them off. Oh, okay. There was a green Oompa up in the front of the lab. Oh, Kagari's so in the lab right now. Still completely naked, she flung open the curtain. She dropped to the floor, ready to move. She could tell by the light from the shower room that there was no one else there. She didn't hear any breathing, and she didn't feel any other presence.
父さんが一度戻ってきたのか?
And then when he left, he'd turn off the lights? No, that couldn't be right. She looked around the room and saw that things had been moved in a way that an amateur wouldn't be able to notice. Itaru's computer desk, the sofa area, the bookshelves, even the mini kitchen. Someone had gone through them all. From the look of it, this same was probably true of the endowment room. Suzuha glanced over all the areas where she kept her guns. The closest was the sofa that she used as a bed. She'd want to have one easily available if she was attacked while she slept, so she had cut out the back of one of the sofa cushions and hidden a suppressed semi-automatic pistol in it. Instead of just keeping it under a cushion or under a pillow, she fucking cut out one of the backs of a sofa cushion to put a gun into it. She cut out the back of one of the cushions and put a pistol in it. What? I mean, that's a good place to hide it, I guess, but that's just destroying a perfectly good cushion. Like, what about the stuffing? Like, every time you lean back on that cushion now, some stuffing's going to come out. Like, yes, you're safe with the gun in there, I guess, but you just ruined a perfectly good cushion. Well, I mean, if she hid it underneath the cushion or underneath the pillow, someone else might accidentally find it, so maybe that makes sense, but I hope the safety's on. It was just a .32 caliber for self-defense, so it wouldn't do much damage unless you had good aim. But it was small and relatively quiet, which made it the best choice for a place like this. What's a .32? The .32 ACP automatic pistol, also known as the .32 automatic, is a centerfire pistol cartridge. It is a semi-rimmed, straight-walled cartridge developed by firearms designer John Browning, initially for use in the FN M1900 semi-automatic pistol. It was introduced in 1899 by Fabrique Nationale, and is also known as the .65 times 17mm SR Browning, or 7.65mm Browning short. So the .2 is a type of bullet for the FN... Oh, the small pistol. Yeah, the small pistol. Yeah, okay. Suzuha tensed all of her muscles, coiling like a spring, and slowly moved towards the sofa without making a sound. As she did, she tried to notice any changes in the surrounding area. There was a small sound in the development room. Oh shit. Yeah, Kagari's in the development room. It was a tiny creaking of the floor, to which you'd usually pay no mind. But that was more than enough for Suzuha. In an instant, she moved from quiet to action. She cleared the distance to the sofa in an instant and quickly drew her gun. She held it ready and slipped into the shadow of the refrigerator. From this position, she could barely see into the development room. It's Kagari. She's in there. The room became silent again. But this time, the intruder in the other room didn't try to hide their presence.
おかしな真似をしたら撃つ。手を頭の上に。そのままゆっくり出てこい。
Suzuha threatened the intruder in a low voice, but the intruder seemed completely unconcerned as they exposed themselves to Suzuha's gaze.
この暑いのによくそんな格好をしていられるな。ヘルメットだけでも取ったらどうだ？
The intruder was wearing a motorcycle suit, just like before. Even the helmet was the same. The leather suit clung tight to their skin, revealing a voluptuous and perfectly proportioned body. It was clearly a woman.
あんたが探してるものだけどね。そこにはないよ。私の服のポケットだ。
Oh, Suzuha knew it was Kagari. Suzuha pointed toward the entrance to the shower room. The shirt she'd just taken off was lying there on the floor. The girl in the motorcycle suit turned her head, but because the face mask was down, Suzuha couldn't read her expression.
なあ、落としたらダメじゃないか。ママからもらった大切なものだろ。Kagari.
Yep, knew it. The second she spoke, Shina Kagari was the first to move. Okay, so the game's not even gonna hide it anymore. That is definitely Kagari. She drew the gloss military knife that she must have been hiding behind her back, and closed the gap between herself and Suzuha in an instant. Suzuha pointed the gun at her legs and pulled the trigger, carefully aiming away from her vitals. She heard the small pop of a suppressed .32 and saw Kagari lose her balance and fall. Or she thought she did, but it was a feint. What's a feint? Oh, it was a fluke, yeah. She'd only pretended to lose her balance. In fact, she changed directions and was heading for the shower room. It seemed her first goal was to get what she'd come for. After firing only one shot, Suzuha realized, even a .32 should have more recoil than this. She fired again, but Kagari didn't flinch even for a moment. Is there no bullets in there? Yep, blanks. At some point, all the bullets in Suzuha's gun had been swapped with blanks. That instant's panic was all it took. That instant's panic was all it took. Kagari reached out for the shirt on the floor in front of the shower room. Suzuha gave up on firing and flung the gun at Kagari. There was a dull thud as the hard barrel slammed into her neck. Caught off balance, she staggered before she could grab the shirt. She could hear Kagari's voice for the first time from within the helmet. Suzuha jumped. She kicked the off-balance Kagari as hard as she could with her toned, muscle legs. This was no time to hold back. Ooh! That was an intense thud. Kagari went flying all the way to the edge of the room. That had to have broken a few ribs. Suzuha jumped toward her to continue her attack. But with terrifying speed, Kagari leapt off the ground and charged at Suzuha. There wasn't enough time to come to a full stop. Ooh! Did Suzuha get stabbed? A sharp blade swept by, mere centimeters from her exposed abdomen. If she'd pulled back even a few tenths of a second later, the knife would have fatally sliced open her gut.
Oh my!
The blood rushed to Suzuha's head. Kagari was serious. She was planning to kill her. There was no hesitation in her movements. Suzuha leapt back and searched for something she could use as a weapon. But the other guns were probably no different. There was a good chance they'd all had their ammo swapped with blanks too. It was even possible that all her self-defense knives had been taken too. Which left? There were several knives carefully stored in the kitchen. Yuki had brought them over to use in teaching the other girls how to cook. But Kagari had evidently noticed them as well, and she was moving to keep Suzuha from reaching them.
へえ、ずいぶん離れしてるじゃないか。とてもマシンの中でベソベソ泣いてた子供とは思えないな。驚いたよ。
Suzuha kept her distance from Kagari as she slowly moved along the wall. Her competitive drive burned even brighter as she tried to come up with a way to overcome her disadvantage.
ほら、カガリ、これだろ。
She picked up her shirt from in front of the shower room and took the green keychain out of its pockets. Her fingers moved as if to crush it. She could see Kagari twitch for the first time. She could detect a hint of emotion from beyond the helmet. And in an instant, she threw it at Kagari's stomach. The keychain flew in a slow arc, like she was tossing it to a friend. If something they loved was thrown like that, even the fiercest warrior would instinctively reach out with both hands to grab it. Kagari's was... oh... here we go. Kagari was no exception. She carefully held her mother's memento in both her empty left hand, and the right hand that still clutched the knife. There's a lot of reading at the beginning of this video. Wow. I was not expecting for this much reading from Steins. I apologize. Using the slow arc of the keychain as camouflage, Suzuha ran at her in a straight line. Oh, and we got her. Her right fist connected hard with Kagari's stomach. And then her left arm smashed Kagari's head to the side. Kagari's body fell to the ground, her right shoulder taking the brunt of the fall. Suzuha could hear the sound of her joint dislocating. The knife slipped from her grasp. Suzuha got behind her and mounted her, twisting her right arm mercilessly. At the same time, she slipped her own left arm around Kagari's neck and squeezed hard. She could hear something like a moan from Kagari's throat. She could both hear and feel the bones in her arm and neck creaking.
おとなしくしろ。殺しはしない。
Well, that's good. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't think Suzuha would feel that great if she killed Mary's daughter. But Kagari picked up the knife on the floor with her left hand, and once again, she tried to use it on Suzuha. Suzuha was forced to squeeze her arm and neck even harder. Oh no, she's gonna accidentally kill Kagari, is she? She's gonna accidentally kill her, isn't she?
もうやめろ、カガリ。今の私にはお前の気持ちだってわかるんだ。でもやっぱりそれは間違ってる。間違ってるんだ。
But Kagari didn't stop. If anything, she tried even harder to pull Suzuha away.
こいつ一体どんな訓練を受けてきたんだ。
Even in all the battles she'd been in, this much pressure on two different spots was enough to get even the toughest soldier to submit or fall unconscious. I'm gonna repeat this line. Jeez, there's a lot of reading. Sorry, I should be used to reading by now, but with Steins Gate, I'm not used to doing this much reading at the beginning of a video. I apologize. Even in all the battles she'd been in, this much pressure on two different spots was enough to get even the toughest soldiers to submit or fall unconscious. Terrified, Suzuha squeezed even harder. At this rate, she wouldn't simply knock her out. She really would kill Kagari. Oh no, I might be right, she might accidentally do it! But if she stopped, Kagari would kill her. What should she do? This would be a bad time for Daru to suddenly walk in. I'm just gonna say this now. This would definitely be a situation that would be very awkward if Daru walked in right here and now. And then she heard a sad, weak voice from inside the helmet. It startled her, and she relaxed both of her arms. But that was just what Kagari had hoped for. The knife came very close to cutting Suzuha's left arm. When she let go to dodge it, Kagari shook her off and kicked at her hips with both legs. Suzuha was slammed back hard into the computer desk, and for a moment, she couldn't breathe. She fell to the floor, and the printer and monitor crashed mercilessly into her naked body. She forced herself to stand up, gasping hard as she did so. Kagari's breathing was heavy too. Her right arm was pointed in an impossible direction and hanging limp. She wouldn't be able to use it for a while, probably. But her left arm was still holding the knife.
お前、随分と汚い真似まで覚えたんだな。
Suzuha glared at Kagari's face. Not that she could see what it looked like from behind that helmet. The two of them fell silent as they tried to catch their breath. The tension in the air was so thick that it was difficult to move a muscle. Sweat rolled down her forehead and into her eyes, but she still didn't blink as she waited for Kagari to make her next move. It was the sound of the front door opening that broke their stalemate. Hey, Daru!
Oi, Suzuha! 今すごい音しなかった?
Suzuha felt a chill run down her spine when she heard Itaru's voice.
あれ? なんで真っ暗なん?
ダメだ、父さん！来ちゃダメ！
She yelled at the exact same instant he turned on the lights. Oh crap! Oh crap! Okay, here we go. What's gonna happen? The sudden brightness was enough to make Suzuha flinch for an instant. Kagari was wearing a full-face helmet, and that made all the difference. She leapt towards Itaru just a moment before Suzuha. Kagari's black knife went up to his throat. Kagari spun around behind him, using Itaru's huge body as a shield. Suzuha staggered toward him, gritting her teeth.
その手を離せ、鏡。父さんに傷一つでも負わせてみろ。たとえお前でも本当に殺す。
Oh, okay, I'm getting legitimate chills from Suzuha right now. Holy crap, the tone she's using is actually legitimately wow. Wow. I mean, her dad is at knife point, so that tone makes perfect sense, but holy crap, that is actually giving me some goosebumps. But Kagari remained silent as she headed outside the door with her hostage. And then in the next moment, she shoved him forward. Itaru lost his balance and fell towards Suzuha. Suzuha fell to the ground underneath his weight. Itaru just barely managed to support himself with his arms and legs to keep from crushing her. Suzuha tried to shove him off, using a little more force than she may have intended. But Itaru was so huge, it would take him a moment to get up. She was getting away. She somehow managed to crawl out from under him, and quickly tried to follow after Kagari.
Suzuha, これ来て!
Itaru was still lying on the ground as he tossed the naked Suzuha her shirt. She grabbed it and quickly put it on, then ran outside. But when she looked around the street, the girl in the motorcycle leathers wasn't there. There was no way to even know where she'd gone. It would be dangerous to run around trying to find her now. There was a chance Itaru would be attacked while she wasn't at the lab.
今のってまさかかがりたん?
You know, I'm kind of impressed that Daru is not making any perverted jokes right now. Like, he's not making any jokes right now. He's just legitimately like, what just happened? Like, that's Itaru right now. He's just, what just happened? Itaru came outside as well.
多分間違いない。
そっか。
結局、あの子とはこうなっちゃうんだな。
The bruises and wounds were bad enough, but the pain that ached in her heart was the worst of all.
私さ、あの子のことは本当に好きだったんだ。
うん。
小さくても勇敢で、まゆ姉さんを守るためにいつも頑張ってて、私もそんなあの子にいろいろなことを教えた。きっと妹みたいに思ってた。
うん。
けど、あいつはもう完全に敵だ。
Oh, this is actually really sad. I'm sorry, but this, I know he's going in for a hug, but God, I was not expecting to be this up and close with Daru. I'm sorry, but no, Itaru's, being a good person right now, so I shouldn't be making jokes, but still, if this was out of any other context, I would be terrified. But this is actually sweet, so I should not be saying anything bad about Daru right now, because he's actually trying to be a good person right now. Itaru straightened up her shirt sleeves.
今の鈴葉、 なんかエロゲーの地上キャラっぽい格好になってる。
Okay, well... Come on, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt! Come on, man! Oh, he's just trying to lighten the mood, though. I think he's trying to lighten the mood. Suzuha was caught completely off guard. True, her t-shirt only came down to just below her hips, roughly the length of a mini-skirt. Her breasts were almost completely bared. The shirt's hem was turned up, and she felt exposed.
まあ僕は地上物も結構いける口なんで、乱れた裸 T シャツというのもありといえばありですが、むふー。
That's your daughter! That's your daughter!
またそうやってふざける。大怪我してたかもしれないのに。
But Itaru shook his head.
僕さっきはナイフ見て騒いじゃったけど、でも怖がる必要なかったんじゃないかなって。あれがもし僕の聞き間違いじゃなかったら。
Oh, wait. Is he speaking because of the timeline? Because he would not have died because he is still alive in 2036. Unless the timeline diverges, his death is not confirmed. Well, with Suzuha's existence, that confirms Daru's gonna live through everything in 2011. Even if he's held at knife point, he would still live through it because he is meant to live so that Suzuha could be born. So he would have not died there in 2011. Itaru rubbed the part of his neck where the knife blade... I'm gonna repeat that, I'm sorry. Itaru rubbed the part of his neck where the knife blade was.
ナイフを突きつけられてた時、ほんの少しだけど聞こえたんだよ。
何が？
彼女、多分泣いてた。
Oh?
え？
Crying? Under that helmet? After that whole battle with Suzuha? While holding a knife to Itaru's neck? But why?
だからさ、決めつけるのはまだ早いんじゃね？
父さん。
な？
アイス買ってきてくれた？
ああ、もちろん。
食べたいな。私ちょっと疲れちゃった。
And then, she almost fell forward.
で、
Itaru managed to catch her before she hit the ground. Good. I would have yelled at him if he didn't.
おい、鈴葉！
ごめん。平気。でも少しだけ休ませて。
And she fell asleep. That was all she had the energy to say. She closed her eyes in her dad's arms, and her consciousness melted away. And we're back to Okabe. When July came, the sun shone down even hotter on eastern Japan. Summer was truly here. The news had been saying for days that the heat island effect might make this the hottest summer in years. Heat island effect? Wait a second. Oh, wait, I think I understand the basic concept of what this is from, the name of what this effect is, but I'm just gonna look it up real quick. So this is from the EPA. Heat islands are urbanized areas that experience higher temperatures than outlying areas. Structures such as buildings, roads, and other infrastructure absorb and re-emit the sun's heat more than natural landscapes such as forests and water bodies. Urban areas, where the structures are highly concentrated and greenery is limited, become islands of higher temperatures relative to outlying areas. Daytime temperatures in urban areas are about 1 to 7 Fahrenheit degrees higher than temperatures in outlying areas, and nighttime temperatures are about 2 to 5 Fahrenheit higher. Yeah, that's the heat island effect, and I thought it was about, islands and how hot islands can get. But no, it's actually about, urban areas and how hotter they can get due to just, the limited amount of greenery and more infrastructure in the area. Okay, I'm gonna say something kind of embarrassing here. I thought the heat island effect was based on the fact that Japan's an island, and due to currents and climate, it gets hotter in the summers because of the climate and wind directions that hit the islands. Okay, there's a reason why I look stuff up while reading. The news have been saying for days that the heat island effect might make this the hottest summer in years. And then, on the first Sunday in July, I met with Maho in Akihabara. Oh! Okay, let's see what happened to Maho. Let's see what happened. I was waiting at the open cafe at the UPX when Maho arrived. She was a little light.
Okabe-san!
久しぶり。
She ordered an iced coffee and took a deep breath.
と言っても、いつもビデオチャットで顔は合わせてるが。
そうね。あまり久しぶりという感じはしないわ。
Her habit of paying no attention to her clothes or looks hadn't changed at all in the last 6 months. People were going to think she was an elementary school kid who decided to go play at a friend's house. But it would upset her if I said that, so I never would.
まさかこっちに来てるとは思わなかったよ。偶然レスキネン教授と会わなかったら今も知らないままだった。
落ち着いたら連絡するつもりだったのよ。クリスのことで定期的な連絡はいずれにせよしなければならないのだし。
今回は新型脳炎の研究だって。
レスキネン教授はね。私はその助手という立場だけど、どちらかというとアマデウス担当。何か不具合はない？と言っても、これもいつも報告は受けているから、大体の状況は分かっているつもりだけれど。
Okay. There seems to be nothing too different about Maho, but at the same time, knowing the stuff from the Steins Gate Zero anime, Leskinen must have done something to her. Like, I know they must have done something to her. I'm trying to think. Like, was she... Like, okay, I'm gonna say some spoilers here from my knowledge of the anime. Like, did she get brainwashed partially? Like, I feel like she might have gotten brainwashed partially, because Leskinen likes brainwashing people. From the anime, he uses brainwash as one of his big things. Or are they... It's either they brainwashed her or something else is going on here. Maybe... Honestly, I can't think of anything else that they would do to Maho other than brainwashing. Like, they have nothing to blackmail her about. Well, maybe Suzuha's laptop. Though they would confiscate that. Yeah, they would confiscate Kurisu's laptop. No. Didn't she give it to Okabe? Yeah, the only thing I think of is brainwashing, because blackmail is not an option if she doesn't have Kurisu's laptop.
ああ、特に問題ない。最近はクリスの相手をするのに苦労してるけどな。
ちょっと。
I heard a voice from my smartphone, which I'd placed on the table.
苦労ってどういう意味？
I left the Amadeus app turned on. Of course, Kurisu could hear everything we said.
最初に会った頃よりちょっと口調がきつくなってきてる気がする。
あんたが勝手に私にビビってるだけでしょ？
かもな。
It was turning into our old relationship in Alpha World Line, where we'd fought all the time. I was starting to lose track of whether that was good or bad. Whether that was a good or bad thing for me. Oh my god. I mean, it was inedible. It was inedible. I thought I was trying to forget about Kurisu.
ヒアジョーさんは初めて会った時の方が口調はきつかったな。
あれは
初対面の人には先輩はきついのよ。なぜかというと
年相応に見てもらえないから。
Jinx. The two of them spoke in unison.
だからついカリカリしちゃうのよ。ある程度親しくなれば容姿のことも言われなくなるでしょ。だから心穏やかに話せるというだけ。
I guess I was right not to comment on her outfit. That was a close call.
アマデウスの話に戻すけど、クリスの口調がきつくなったというのは面白い兆候だわ。私や教授の前では見せない一面なわけでしょ。
The way she's talking seems a little bit more professional than usual. I don't know. Something just feels off about Maho. Like, I know something is off about Maho. I'm just trying to find it. Just see a, an indication of what they did to her. Because I know they did something to her when they captured her.
それだけ深く心を開いているとも言えるかもしれない。
開いてません。
Maho simply smiled and ignored her.
そうした心の動きをプログラムとして解析できるから、私や教授と話しているだけでは決して見られなかった変化だわ。
Wait a second, I think I know what's going on here. They rewrote Maho's mind to the program Amadeus Maho. Oh my god, I think that's what's going on here. They implemented the mind of the Amadeus Maho that was programmed and put it into Maho's own brain. Oh my god. This is not the Maho from earlier. This is Maho Amadeus. That's why she's speaking like this. Maybe. I don't know, for some reason, I just am trying to figure out what they did to Maho, and I bet they implemented some of the thoughts and memories of the Amadeus Maho in the programming into the real Maho. If you can put memories into the machine, who says that one cannot put the machine into the human? I think that's what's going on here. Because the Amadeus program, from what I understand of it, the government was also looking into the Amadeus program to make super soldiers, aka program people's brains to make them into the perfect soldier. That's what they were doing. So, they probably did that to Maho to, get her to act like her Amadeus program self in order to talk to Okabe about Kurisu. Because the American government, they want to know about the time machine as well. And they know that Kurisu's theory might be very important to their research into the time machine. So, using their studies of Amadeus, the stuff about the whole, making the super soldiers with the program memories put into their brains, they did that to Maho to get the information about the time machines from Okabe. Holy crap! That's probably what's going on here. Holy shit! Things are coming together now. Oh my gosh. If I go by that mindset, and from my memories of the Promised Video Samento, along with the things that were revealed in this route so far, as well as the information I got from the Skate Zero anime, that can give an indication as to my theory right there. Oh my god, poor Maho.
それだけで岡部さんにテストを続けてもらった価値もあるというものよ。
そんなものか。
レスキネン教授もその点を高く評価していたわ。
過大評価だと思いますが、実際私と話す時も文句や愚痴が多いですし、あまり男らしくないというか。
Well, I knew my personality had gotten a bit negative, especially given what I've been through. But did she really need to say that to Maho right now? An eye for an eye it is, then.
ちなみに今まで報告していなかったことがあるんだが、
何かしら。
これはおそらくヒヤジョウさんやレスキネン教授も把握していないことだと思う。
Oh, here we go. Maho didn't even need to squeeze it out of him. He's just gonna flat out say it.
待って、あんた何の話をしようとしてるの？真帆先輩や教授が把握していないことって？私についての？
栗ご飯とカメハメハといえばわかるかな？
Oh, wow. Okabe. Okabe, come on. You have to be... You know what? No, I like him when you're being a troll. I like him when you're being a troll. Be a troll, Okabe. Be a troll. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely Okabe is starting to blur the lines between Amadeus and Kurisu. A few weeks ago, I'd actually searched for KuriGohan and Kamehameha on a whim. Was Amadeus posting on KuriGohan and Kamehameha? Was she posting on it? It was the handle Kurisu had used on that channel when she was still alive. From what I'd seen, the comment started in summer of 2008, then abruptly stopped in July of 2010. And then started up again in December of that same year. Oh my god! I mean, when you think about it, let's be honest here. If any scientists in the future do projects like Amadeus, where they put their memories into a computer or program version themselves with, their memories from their brain put into a program, that program is likely going to log on to their Reddit account because that's programmed into someone's brain. Once you program a program with the brain, it's going to do what the brain would do, and the brain would go on Reddit. So that definitely makes sense that Amadeus is logging on that channel on Kurisu's account because that's what Kurisu would do. Even now, in July 2011, they were still appearing. If it wasn't Kurisu's ghost, and it wasn't an imposter, then the only one who could be writing those posts was...
Okabe Rintaroさん、ちょっと二人だけで話をしますよ。
Oh shit! Oh shit!
やっぱりお前の仕業だったか。さすがに黙っているのはまずいんじゃないか。
真帆先輩に報告するなんてもっとまずいわよ。
なんで？
私がアートチャンネルを見てることは一言も教えてないからに決まってるでしょ。
堂々としていればいいじゃないか。アットチャンネルを見るのも書き込むのも別に犯罪じゃないんだし。そうだろ？アットチャンネラークリス。
あったね。次にその呼び方したらあることないことアットちゃんに書き込んでやるわよ。
それこそ犯罪一歩手前の行為だろう。
Okabe knows he won. He just won. I couldn't help but laugh. Conversations like this brought back so many memories. I used to be so full of myself that I took off Kurisu all the time.
ねえ、一体何の話？
なんでもありません。気にしないでください。海馬からきれいさっぱり今日の記憶を頬張り去ってください。
Oh, Leskinen can do that for sure. He definitely can.
隠していたっていつかはバレるぞ。
あんたはいいから黙りなさい。
やっぱりあなたたち半年前よりずっと仲良くなっているわね。
あ、先輩、すみません。
どうして謝るの？
せっかく岡部と真帆先輩久々に会ったのに私ばかり話してしまって。というわけで会っ とはお二人でごゆっくりどうぞ。
別にそんなつもりで言ったんじゃないわよ。
No.
それもこれも岡部が変なことを言い出したせいね。
そうなのか。栗ご飯とカメハメハ。
お願いだから言わないで。
Just like the real Kurisu, she was strangely obsessed with hiding the fact that she was Nat Chandler.
ちょっと頭を冷やしたいので一度切りますね。失礼します。
Kurisu disappeared from the screen and went off to lose some steam by browsing ad channel. Kurisu had been kind of rude lately, so it felt good to have a chance to get back at her. If I overdid it, she was probably going to hold a grudge, so this was likely a good place to stop.
栗ご飯って何なのよ。
どうしても知りたかったらクリスに聞いてくれ。
If I explained it, she'd probably get mad and refuse to talk to me again.
それで今回はどれぐらいの間
One second.
こ
My
っちに
nose
滞在
is...
することになりそうなんだ。
One second. My nose has really been very annoying recently. I'm really hoping I don't... it's not... It's spring! This is not nosebleed season!
前よりも長くなるかもしれないわね。
No?
レスキネン教授が研究している新型脳炎は未だに詳しいことがほとんど分かっていないようだから、もしかしたら私だけ先に帰らされる可能性もあるけど。
時間があったらラボにも顔を出してみるといい。ダルやマユリもきっと喜ぶはずだ。
マユリさんはともかく橋田さんはどうかしら。
Maho was finally starting to understand Daru's true nature. Speaking of Daru, he should be on a date with Amane Yuki right now.
ちなみにクリスのノート PC はその後どうしたの？
あれは破棄したよ。
Yeah, it's not blackmail. They brainwashed her. They definitely brainwashed her when they captured her. Like, there's nothing to blackmail her for. She's been brainwashed. Her memories are not her memories. It's her Amadeus' self's thoughts that's in her head right now. They rewrote her brain. They rewrote Maho's brain with herself. I'm calling it.
それが一番いい判断だったんだ。前にそう話しただろう。
ええ、そうね。
She looked down, a sad expression on her face. I told her I was going to do it ahead of time, but it still must have upset her to see one of the last things she had to remember Kurisu by destroyed. Well, that's a abrupt cut. Oh, we're back to Suzuha. What? Wait, what? Wait, is she... Oh, this might be her just having fun a little bit in 2011, trying to hide the fact that she's having fun. Yeah, I think that's what's going on now. About half the seats at Go-Go Curry were full. I mean, after what happened the previous night, I think Suzuha should be allowed to let off some steam. It was Sunday, but it was also after 2 p.m., and so the lunchtime rush was over. Suzuha was sitting at the restaurant's far edge, a baseball cap pulled down over her face. She was hiding her face with the cap, and carefully watching a couple sitting nearby. Oh wait, the comment about Daru on a date with... Oh my god! We're gonna see a date between Daru and Yuki! Oh my god, here we go!
お待ちどおさま、メジャーカレーです。
Major curry. What is a major curry? One of the items on the Go-Go Curry menu, it consists of an extra large portion of rice, pork loin katsu, chicken katsu, hot dogs, fried shrimp with tartar sauce, and a boiled egg. Major curry. Interesting. Very interesting. I would try that, but there's a lot of pork in that. I'll still try it, even though I'm gonna be honest here, I don't like pork that much, but I would try it. I would at least try it because it seems interesting. Yeah, I would at least try it, but I don't like pork that much. If there's like a meat or chicken-based one, maybe. But I guess I will, try the pork one if that's the only option, though. A cheerful employee put down 2 giant silver plates, or trays, more accurately, in front of them. Suzuha could see the other customers looking at them and whispering. Oh? The couple really stood out, after all. The man was a giant, who looked like he ate major curry all the time, but the woman was slim, pretty, and looked very kind. The combination of huge man and slim woman was as unbalanced as the combination of pretty girl and major curry. The major curry was big. It was huge. Suzuha knew from experience. The massive silver trays were loaded with rice and curry, and topped with 2 fried cutlets, fried shrimp, sausage, a boiled egg, and a mountain of cabbage. There was 2 or 3 times as much curry as you would find in a normal dish, and the toppings were just as big. Even a growing young boy would find it hard to eat them all. Suzuha was irritated.
一体なんで初デートの昼食がメジャーカレーなんだよ、お父さん。
Yep, it's definitely Daru and Yuki's date that Suzuha's watching. Oh my god. I mean, they're having fun. They're having fun. Don't judge them. They're having fun. If they want to have major curry, let them have major curry. If they want to have an eating competition with the large portion of food, let them have that eating competition. Though I don't think it's a competition. It's just a big amount of food. Yeah, it's just a big amount of food that's in front of them, so it's not really a competition. The Beauty and the Beast couple that Suzuha was watching, of course, was Itaru and Yuki. In the morning, they'd gone to see a movie in Yurakucho. Then they come to Akihabara, and gone straight to Go-Go Curry. Suzuha had followed them the whole time. That's why she couldn't believe Itaru's choice of date spots.
私はゴーゴーカレーでも全く問題ないけど、というかむしろ好きな方だけど、せっかくの初デートなんだからもうちょっと他に選択肢もあるだろう。
Oh god. I mean, who knows? Maybe your first day could be at your family reunion. Yeah. God, that... Yeah, that's another place for, a date. A family reunion. Or, a date with your mother and younger brother dressed up as Pennywise. Yeah, 2 perfect dating spots. A family reunion, or, with your partner's mother and their younger brother dressed up as Pennywise. Oh, those are stories for another video. She clutched her spoon tight and gritted her teeth. Suzuha knew next to nothing about Japanese youth culture in 2011, and even she knew it was a bad idea. Who knew what was going through Yuki's mind? Or so Suzuha thought. But...
うわー、写真よりもすごいですね。
Surprisingly, Yuki was ignoring the people around her, and innocently enjoying the huge curry. See, she doesn't mind, so you're being too quick to judge, Suzuha.
あまねし、もし食べきれなかったら、僕が が食べてあげるですから。
はい、ありがとうございます。けどこれでも私結構いけるんですよ。
そうですか。びっくりですよ。
実はいつもお店の外でメニューだけ見てて一度食べてみたかったんですよね。連れてきてもらえて嬉しいです。
それは実に良かったですよ。
お
Suzuha had... See, I knew it. Daru did not do a bad decision. I knew it. You're just too quick to judge, Suzuha. Suzuha had evidently worried over nothing. But still, she realized that Itaru was acting strangely. Ever since he come out of the movie theater, he was walking and talking strangely. Instead of his usual punched posture, he was forcing himself to stand up straight. His every movement seemed oddly forced, as if he were a broken robot. And he downed glass after glass of water. He's nervous.
あ、ごめんなさい。私にもお水のおかわりを。
はいはい、どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
Itaru poured water into Yuki's cup. Suzuha had a bad feeling. And she was right. Itaru was moving so awkwardly that he almost spilled water on her hand.
大丈夫ですか？
ええ、ちょっと手が濡れただけですから。それより早く食べましょう。
Yuki quickly wiped down the table with her handkerchief and grabbed her fork and spoon. There were stars in her eyes.
それじゃあいただきます。
いただきます。
Yuki seemed to be really enjoying her meal, but Itaru was very formal and quiet. He was taking little nibbles out of a piece of fried cutlet, like a squirrel eating a nut. The whole time, they weren't saying a word.
一体何をやってるんだ父さんは。あんなんじゃ母さんに愛想つかされちゃうよ。
She decided to send him a message on Ryan, telling him to get his act together. And she just taken out her phone with...
はい、メジャーカレールーマシーお待たせしました。
Oh, Suzuha, I knew she would order. I knew she would also order. A huge plate was laid on the table in front of her. The other customers started murmuring again. Come to think of it, when she'd follow them into the store, she'd order her usual major curry with extra rooks, and then forgotten about it. Now, everybody was going to focus on her. In a small shop like this, it was suicide.
あら？
Oh shit. I love Daru's expressions. Like, of all the CG art in this game, every time they have Daru make an expression, I automatically love the expression. Like, Daru is a perfect character to draw amazing artwork of. Like, at some points, he can look completely badass. Like, look at this image now. He looks so cool. And then, he's so funny that you have to laugh whenever he makes faces like these. But at the same time, he can be amazingly awesome and cool in his CGs. Like, Daru, it's like, I feel like they do the most work with all of Daru's CGs, because every single Daru CG emits its own kind of energy. Just as she expected, her eyes met Yuki's.
鈴葉さん、いたんですか？偶然だね、ゆきさん、みーさん。声 てくれればよかったのに。いや、気がつかなかったんだよ、全然。
She realized that she should probably leave, but she couldn't go without at least taking a bite of the major curry in front of her. Her experiences in the war had left her completely unable to waste food. She felt Yuki and Itaru staring at her as she reluctantly picked up her spoon.
とまあ、そういうことなんで、二人ともごゆっくり。
Her only choice was to finish her extra-large curry as soon as possible. She couldn't let herself be in the way. But instead, Yuki came over and picked up Suzuha's plate.
すみません、店員さん。お友達なんですけど、席を移ってもいいでしょうか。
はい、どうぞ。
OK ですって。一緒に食べましょうよ。ちょっと、なんでって、ほら、鈴葉さんもメジャーカレーじゃないですか。これはぜひ勝負せねばと思って。
Oh man!
はあ？審判は橋田さんにやってもらいましょう。
And before Suzuha could respond, Yuki had moved her plate over to their table.
いや、
She had no choice but to follow. But before she sat down, she whispered in Yuki's ear.
デート中なんだよね。あ、そうです。デート中です。改めて言われると照れますね。
Itaru didn't react at all, even though she was sure he'd overheard that.
私デートとかしたことないから詳しくないんだけどさ、デート中に他の女とカレーの早食い対決したりするもんなの？
You know what? It's better to have a memorable first date than just a boring one. Let's be honest here. It's always great to have a memorable first date. Especially if it just so happens that, in your first date, you know, have a speed eating contest with your future daughter who went back into the past to prevent World War III. Just imagine the story they could tell to younger Suzuha. No, they did not tell that story to younger Suzuha because that would cause a divergence in the space-time continuum. So they couldn't tell younger Suzuha about their first date. Oh my god. Oh, that would make a great story for Mayuri and Okabe, though. And Ferris. Ferris would eat this first date up. Or she might be a little bit pissed that it was kind of, you know, crashed. Honestly, I think this is amazing. Does this top little brother dressed up as Pennywise? No. But that's just on a whole other level. That was just on a whole other level.
さあ、どうでしょう。でもほら、アニメとかコミックスとかにそういうのありません？お兄ちゃんを取られたくない妹が彼女さんに向かって勝負だみたいなの。
For some reason, Yuki seemed incredibly enthused. Suzuha was overwhelmed by her energy.
知らないってば。そういうものなの？兄さん。
But even when she turned to Itaru for help, he just awkwardly sat there, eating his curry like a robot.
兄さん？
He awkwardly turned his head to face her. The rest of them stayed completely still.
なんか言った。
Oh, I feel really bad for Daru. He's so nervous.
どうしたのさ？なんかおかしいよ。
どうもしてないお。おかしくないお。
Poor Daru.
お？
Suzuha glanced back at Yuki. And for the first time, Yuki looked concerned. Oh, it's so awkward. In the end, Yuki and Suzuha did have their curry eating contest, and surprisingly, both of them completely finished their meals. But who won? Suzuha won by a very small margin, but the battle was exciting enough that not only the other customers, but the staff as well, were applauding at the end. But the whole time, Itaru kept eating by himself. Since this wasn't even a conversation, let alone a date, she sent Itaru home alone. Part of her wanted to demand Itaru explain himself right now, but she decided to talk to Yuki instead. She tried her best to avoid Yuki so far, in order to keep her identity a secret, but it was July now. She would be gone from this era very soon. This might be her last chance to talk to Yuki at all.
鈴葉さんがいてくれて助かりました。
Yuki sighed a little after Itaru left.
私、もしかしたら気に障るようなことをしちゃったのかもしれません。橋田さん、私といてもあんまり楽しくないみたいだったから、単に緊張してただけじゃないかな。でも映画を見る前は楽しそうにお話ししてくれてたんですよ。それが映画の後はすっかりよそよそしくなってしまって、私何か間違っちゃったのかな。カレー屋さんに連れて行ってもらったのも私のリクエストだったんですけど、ずっとあの調子だったからさすがにちょっと困ってしまって、それで偶然お店にいた鈴葉さんに助けを求めたというわけです。
Aww. I really like Yuki. I really like Yuki. She's definitely becoming... she was definitely one of my favorite characters in the Steins Gate Zero anime, and her episode with Daru was awesome. I really liked her episode with Daru, so... yeah, I'm really liking seeing more of Yuki in the Steins Gate Zero storyline. Though, I'm not 100% sure we're really going to get a full Yuki storyline in this ending. We might get some snippets, but we're not going to get the full Yuki storyline in this ending because, well, this is the Leskinen ending. But this is a good treat. This is just a good treat on top of the sundae. What had happened inside the theater? Suzuha hadn't followed them inside. She'd spent about 2 hours killing time outside.
あのさ、ゆきさんはなんで兄さんのこと好きになったの？
Sorry, choked on water.
いや、私が言うのもなんだけど、あんまりモテるタイプじゃないじゃん、兄さんって。鈴葉さんはお兄さんのことどう思います？私？好きですか？嫌いですか？好きですよね。見ていればわかります。まあ、
There were parts of him that she didn't like. But of course, she loved her dad.
で、私のことは別にどうでもいいじゃないか。それで、ゆきさんは？私はまだ好きかどうかもよくわからないです。そっか。
Not only had Itaru not told Yuki he liked her, and this was still their first. Not only had Itaru not told Yuki he liked her, this was still their first date, and they hadn't spoken that much either. She hadn't even reached the point where she saw him as a member of the opposite sex. For almost a year, Suzuha had stayed with him, and she, Mayuri, and Ferris had done everything they could to get the two of them together, but there hadn't been any real progress. Well, yeah, because this stuff takes time. You can't force it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You just have to wait and see. The only people who can make decisions on how things can work are the actual people involved. Like, the people on the outside, they really don't have much say in what's going to happen. It's only those people who are directly involved with each other that chooses, how things progress. Though with Suzuha, the case is kind of a little bit complicated because she technically, is involved with this, but in a way that makes her an outsider but also an insider. Suzuha felt uneasy when she thought about the future. Maybe her dad wouldn't be her dad anymore. Maybe her mom wouldn't be her mom anymore. Dad and mom wouldn't be together. She imagined that future.
そんなの嫌だ。
She looked straight into Yuki's eyes.
私さ、もうすぐここからいなくなるんだ。え？ちょっと遠いところに引っ越すんだよね。そうなんですか？多分戻ってこないと思う。心配なんだ。父さん、兄さんのこと。
So close! So close to slipping up!
だからさ、ユキさん、こんなこと私が頼むのもおかしな話なんだけど。
And then, she bowed deeply.
橋田至をよろしくお願いします。
There was no answer from Yuki. Suzuha looked up, afraid, and tried to gauge the expression on her face. She looked kind of lonely, and kind of sad.
私はどうしたいんでしょうね。
Yuki whispered, and then Suzuha.
もうどうするんだよ。これじゃ破局の危機だよ。まだ始まってもいないけど。
Oh shit! Oh shit! Alright. I'm gonna save this for next episode. Wait a second, hold on. Let's see the files real quick. Daru's making the same exact position.
OK OK